welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I wanted to give you 3 tips how you can combat stress and anxiety. And I hope by the end of this video, you'll become a much better version of you. One of the main reasons why you experience stress and why you become anxious is because your vagus nerve, which is a network of information within your body, is blocked or imbalanced. So the vagus nerve runs from the top down to the bottom, so just below your stomach. And it has the main function of circulating information from your brain down to your heart, down to your gut. When it becomes imbalanced, then what it does is it tells your brain, I'm a bit stressed. So then your brain starts to inject cortisol, which is a stress hormone, and cortisol gets deposited first into the lower parts. One is the bowel, stomach, all those aspects. In order to be able to release that, you're going to have to work a bit with your vagus nerve. And what is the easiest way? It's actually so simple. I was really surprised when I learned about it. Find your belly button. And the reason why your belly button is because it has the thinnest layer of skin, so you can actually access the vagus nerve straight inside. So take one finger or 2 fingers and put them in your belly button and start pushing about 100 times. Then take a break for 5 minutes and then do that again. And what I would recommend is, why don't you stop this video, do that, and then put down in the comments below what you're feeling. You should experience a bit of less discomfort in your stomach, for the bloating to ease up, and also your shoulders will become really just less tense. There's a lot of tension that we experience in our body when we're stressed, is because our body just contracts. So then you start to really just straighten your shoulders, you feel like your entire being can move a bit more. The reason is because your brain gets oxygenated more. So by stimulating your vagus nerve, you actually give more oxygen to your brain. So try that and let me know how that feels. The second tip is try to expand your comfort zone. And the easiest thing to do that is by changing your habits, changing your patterns of behavior. So take one very small thing, for example, brushing your teeth. Try to brush your teeth with your left hand. Or if you watch telly, try to change the times when you watch TV. If you watch TV in the morning, then change it to the evening and the other way around. Or maybe reduce the time that you watch TV. Our brain has an incredible capacity. So we have 80 to 90 billion neurons. We also have an incredible amount of different connections that these neurons can make. The main issue with humans these days is that we only use about 20% of that, because our patterns have been established over time and we follow the same routine. We're not farmers anymore that we depend on the rain and the weather and things happening, and we really need to adjust our behavior all the time. What we do is we go into the office and we know that we have to go in at a certain time, we have to perform certain tasks, so we actually don't really challenge ourselves as much. We become a bit lazier. And our brain knows that, so it only uses a small capacity, and the rest is just a comfort zone where it finds itself. In order to combat dementia and Alzheimer's and really start being more comfortable with uncomfortable situations, which actually lead up to you becoming stressed out and becoming anxious, you have to start engaging your brain. You have to become really the master of your brain, instead of it controlling you by its established patterns. You need to step up and tell your brain, no, actually I'm the one who is determining how I'm going to behave today. And the easiest thing to do is really just change your patterns, your current patterns of behavior. Because the more you do that, the more you start to expand your comfort zone, the more you start to get into a modality where you can determine and be more intentional about what you're doing on a daily basis. And also, you're going to be much more alert to situations around you that are able to trigger you and think, do I really want to address that or not? But it's really just by starting to work with your brain to tell it, you're not doing things that way today. I am telling you what to do and when to do it. And the easiest is start to change something in your daily routine. And the third tip is change your breathing pattern. So many people talk about mindfulness, but what is mindfulness? Mindfulness is really just being intentional about your daily life and who you are. We as human beings, and there are a lot of people that are so engrossed in their daily activities and what they have to do and rushing around and being on this treadmill and doing this and doing that because there's a duty and they have responsibilities, that their entire breathing has been concentrated in their upper parts, so just in their lungs, and they breathe very shallow because they don't allow the breath to go down fully in their entire body, but actually they just keep it here. So they put a lot of stress on their organs, they put a lot of stress on their lungs to oxygenate the entire body, and the lungs are pumped very heavily on a daily basis. You have to understand that you have a full body to oxygenate, and that's the mindset that you're gonna have to implement. By elongating your breath and breathing down into your belly and breathing out and just breathing more slowly, and understand breath is the most amazing thing. It's what keeps us alive. It's not just something that we have to do, but it's actually something that is so fantastic because it gives us oxygen. It allows us to live, to experience all the wonderful things. Yet we pay so little attention to it. So by elongating your breath, instead of pushing it just down into your upper parts, just pushing it down into your upper parts, by pushing it lower and then also exhaling much more intentional, what you're doing is you're allowing your entire being to be oxygenated. So it's kind of like giving food to your body, giving food to your brain. Your brain needs a lot of oxygen in order to feel calm, in order to operate on a really positive note and operate at its fullest capacity. So try to elongate your breath, go down into your stomach, and then blow your stomach out with just push the breath in and then exhale. And do that once you go down on the street. You will see the expansion and you feel the expansion in your entire being. And instead of being kind of like closed in, you're gonna have to be able to, you will be able to, not have to, but you'll be able to just expand and be more receptive of everything that's around you. That will help you calm your brain. That will help you really just combat anxiety so much easier, because when you take a deep breath and then you also exhale and you focus on your breath in situations which are triggering you, you're going to be able to take a step back and think, am I really going to feel bad about myself? The reality is that most of situations that happen, they're kind of like split second or a few minutes, and then they disappear and they become completely unimportant. So by focusing on yourself, focusing on your breath, you're going to be able to assess whether it is really worth feeling bad, or is it worth becoming stressed about it, or can the situation just be resolved on its own or a later stage. So if you do those three things, is work with the vagus nerve, start to work with your brain, and start to work with your breath, then you will be able to build resilience. You're going to be able to actually be more intentional in your body and who you are, And you're going to become stronger. You're going to be more focused on yourself rather than on the external circumstances. And definitely you'll see that you will be less triggered. You're just going to be much more relaxed and take life as it is, because life comes with a lot of challenges. It comes with a lot of situations which are outside of our control. And the only thing that we can do is control who we are and control ourselves. And by appreciating you, by working with you, then you can make consistent efforts to show up in the world as the best version that you can be. I hope this video has helped you. Please share it with other people that would benefit from these messages. It is so important to not just watch, but also practice. And I hope you do put it into practice, and do let me know if there are any other topics that you find useful that I'm happy to discuss.